shake it up. Shaking up the garbage we feed on, shaking up our wondrous being. Let's begin to reform, even if just for a moment, to share the cloying and the suffocating skin. Let's shake it up right now. Let's shake it up right now. Let's shake it up right now. Shake it up. Languishing in false lucidity doesn't benefit the greater cause. Driving blind and clawing wildly, wreaking havoc, banging heads against the wall. Let's shake it up right now. Let's shake it up right now. Let's shake it up right now. Let's shake it up. Shake it up.
Wailing at the hope struck numb by rules that make no sense at all.
Let's shake it
Let's
up
begin the
right
reform.
now.
Let's open up the door. Let's shake it up right now. Let's utilize the power. Let's shake it up
Right now.
Hello there. Welcome to the Creative Shake-Up podcast. This is a very special. I'm giving an introduction to myself. Not as in I'm meeting me, but I wanted to do a short introduction before I get myself comfortable to share more with you. There's been a series of podcasts that I've recorded on my own. They're all to do with a voice. And this is essentially part 3. I do strongly feel there will be other parts to follow in the future. And I feel also, before I dive in even deeper, we have different levels of a voice because there are different aspects to our experience. Within the voice itself, I'll say what first came to me. People talk at times, don't they? I know I have a morning voice. That voice when you're beginning to wake up. You are coming around to the day and awakening. And there's a different voice physically. But also, there's deeper voices. And what I mean by that is I don't mean deeper tonally. Deeper in terms of layers. Diving into, going within the voice. A voice inside of us that, of course, projects out. Our, ultimately, soul voice. The voice of our spirit. The voice of the deeper innermost being. And there are parts around that. There's a joyful voice. There's a emotional, perhaps at times a voice of trauma. And check out previous episodes for individuals who can support us and help us with that. And through the Creative Shake-Up podcast, that's one of my desires. It's not necessarily to promote overly healing. For me, it's more about being heard than it is about healing. And not only for me, I'm finding that with many, many people as well. So I'm going to get myself comfortable. You know what to do with the entire episode that you're about to experience. And I will be sharing very, very deep level personal experience with you, for you, because it's what I've got and it's what we've all got. We've come from places of having gone through shadows, felt like we're crumbling, we're falling apart. And this episode is for you. It's me sharing my experience for you and what I've been through. So, the voice within, part 3, in brackets, an echo. And I'll share more about that echo with you as I get comfortable, as we relax together, and we open up to the experience of being human. Comment, like, subscribe, click on the notify bell, and now, the voice within, an echo. Am I sitting comfortably? Are you sitting comfortably? Then I will begin. When I share messages in whichever platform it is, whether it's live in TikTok, which is quite a bit at the moment, any other social media platform, here on the YouTube channel, podcast interviews and or Lone Ranger podcasts, rarely if ever do I have a real outline set. I have an idea, I have a number of different aspects of an idea that I want to share, but rarely if ever do I actually have real detail laid out, a script, a teleprompter, even worse to some degree. It's flow, but it's flow around a subject. And there's a lot coming together in this moment. I want to timestamp this. I'm recording this on, to be official, April the 4th. It's a Friday. It's a week ahead of the official release of a very special song. And I will come back to that in a moment. The journey of the song, the life of the song, the soul of the song. Where did it come from? Why was it written? What was the experience behind it? And I'll come back to that in a moment. With regard to when this is going to be aired, there's going to be a period of time between me recording this Lone Ranger podcast, no interview, and it's going to be just over a month between recording and airing. The official public sharing of this recording will be May the 10th, 2025. It actually coincides with myself and Michelle, my partner Michelle, going away for a couple of weeks. So the Creative Shake-Up podcast is going on holiday. You never know, there might be aspects of that will return to be shared. Don't quite know yet. I'm going to be doing a little bit of singing while I'm away, journeying, holidaying, relaxing, because there's a lot going on in life for myself and Michelle at this current time. With I'm going to call it work. I prefer purpose, but work, purpose. There's a lot of things I'm doing across a number of different platforms, being as productive as I can with the time I have available. Of course, that then requires a bit of rest, a bit of rest and relaxation. But I want to visit 17 years ago to the day of May the 10th. I put a little bit of pre-thought into this and I thought, have I got the date correct? Have I got the date correct? So quite simply, I did an internet search for May the 10th, 2008. And that was the day. And I'm still, even though the memories are cloudy of 17 years ago, that was the day that I had surgery for throat cancer. I was diagnosed, if I'm honest, I can't remember how much before. That wasn't long. It was a couple of months there or thereabouts. Very grateful. And this is really the thrust of what this podcast is. I'm returning to that experience. Why? Is it because within what happened to me, and that's all I can share. I can't share the experience of family, friends that were around me at the time. And I want to emphasize this is in no way, as has been misunderstood in the past, an attack. It isn't. I had my view of my experience. Others, of course, had their view of their experience within that. But I'm not going to underestimate the isolating and the disconnecting experience. I'm not. And I say that unapologetically. It was definitely one of the most traumatic experiences of my entire life. And I want to be open about that, honest about that, because I want to utilize that experience to create strength and encouragement for others. So, why then? Is it because it's unresolved? It's unresolved trauma. I haven't fully healed. Well, the answer to that question to some degree is no, I haven't. and I don't intend to. I feel the term and the encouragement to heal from trauma is overused. I feel at times it's actually abused, because sometimes people are made to feel that they're inadequate, they're not complete, they haven't got over something because they talk about it. And it's unresolved trauma, they're not healed. I don't think in some circumstances you ever can be, and you ever should be. This is my view. So I'm not promoting perpetuating the situation. What I am sharing is some things are so deep they never leave you. And there is a message that keeps coming to me that I notice it being shared online, which is, it's not about being healed, it's about being heard. Now, ironically, of course, with my experience of throat cancer, that was incredibly acute, because I feel the cancer that I experienced was because I wasn't fully communicating leading up to that time. And I was bottling up and stifling and silencing certain things that were inside me. And the environment I was in wasn't conducive to me opening up as well, and I allowed it to not be conducive. So I suffered in silence, and I suffered incredibly deeply in silence, and ultimately that perpetuated for some period of time after. Physically, I couldn't properly communicate for close to a year. Emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, that lasted for a long period of time after. So when this is shared, I'm diving in quite deep already. And I think part of that is it's not contrived. It's not, I've planned, this is how I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to do it. I know why I'm going to do it. And I'll come to that in a moment. I'll come to the song release, and I'll come to other song releases as well. And I'll come to some degree, what's happened over the last 17 years, particularly in the last 4 to 5 years, maybe slightly longer, with regard to creativity and the why behind the reason of what I do and the purpose and how that's growing and expanding. So 17 years ago, it was a Saturday. I've got a feeling, I'm fairly convinced of this. I've not researched back in time. It was a cup final day. And that was the beginning of the physical surgery. I don't like to use the word treatment because it was brutal. The necessary action to remove cancer. Now, I experienced that at times, not really feeling that anybody around me understood. And of course, it was traumatic. Then 6 weeks of radiation, which I did put into, ultimately, I'm going to come back to this in a moment, the song, a video capturing, brilliantly put together by Glyn Devy. And we created something that I'll talk about in a moment, musically. This was many, many years after. But I wanted to capture, to share what I'd gone through. Now, I did receive at the time attacks for what it was that I shared. And quite frankly, this is me expressing me, the response towards those things was disgusting. As in, the language that was used about the music video I created was so disparaging of the experience I went through. And people, yes, okay, people are permitted to express themselves, but this was at a time that it was completely wrong. I have no doubt about that at all. And again, I'm not calling anybody out. People can say, why are you revisiting this? Because all of these things have shaped me to do what I do now. And even though at times you may or may not hear it in my voice, it is challenging to visit these things. I think it's wrong to not, because that's convenient for others. And that's wrong. That's wrong. So that's part of what happened around this time. So it was a very isolating, disconnecting experience. And now I'm going to say that by no means am I looking for pity or sympathy at all. I'm not. At all. Many people, tragically, not only go through cancer lose their lives to it. So I'm grateful to be alive. The voiceless, my heart goes out to them. It does. Not perfect, me, definitely not. Far from it. Lots of faults, lots of weaknesses, lots of things that I could have done better and that I regret, of course. But the song that was created, which I'm going to move on to now, again, I'm not over explaining, I'm just pouring my heart into this and my soul into this. Very, very vulnerable, fragile, personal. No finger pointing towards anybody. It isn't. Is that experience formed in me and reframed in me the desire to take the pain that I went through and convert it into something that I felt could be of use to others. And over the time where I've learned my part and my responsibility, which I accept, but I don't accept the full blame of everything that happened around, and there were things that were wrong. I share this because I was somebody who wrote down feelings, emotions. I've written lyrics, poetry for many years, songs over a period of time, but not as much as I have done the last few years. And 2 years after surgery, radiation, for 2 years, I didn't write a single thing. The only thing I wrote down was in a notepad in terms of communication because I couldn't speak. I didn't write any poetry, any lyrics, nothing at all. Surviving was a challenge enough, getting through the days, because I couldn't eat properly, because I couldn't communicate at all. It was incredibly lonely. And somebody recently, funny enough, I can't go into detail as to who it was because it was within a professional environment, but their background was within support of people going through cancer. And they said, basically, of the experience I went through, they said, you didn't feel a normal part of society. And that's so true. The isolation of not being able to eat properly, not being able to communicate, was incredibly isolating and disconnecting. That's why I'm sharing it. Because here I am now communicating. Here I am 17 years after, to the day from surgery, sharing a journey of creativity. Why? Because if anybody's hearing this, it might not be the same thing. It might not be throat cancer. It might not be leaving organised religion. It might not be being misunderstood by those you love and hold dear. It might not be. It could be any one of a number of things. But whatever it is that makes you feel isolated and disconnected, I wrote words 2 years after, and the voice within, the song, was born. And it was my attempt within what I had, because as I've said many, many times, I can't give away what I haven't got. It was my attempt to share that I wanted to write something that if anybody felt how I felt or similar to, they could have something to go to know this is for you. This is for you. This can speak for you if you can't speak. There's no worthiness attached to that. I'm not saying this is like, now it's going to be, whatever it's going to be. I wrote it from the heart, from my soul. And I wanted it to connect with people because it's all I knew that I could do. I didn't have inordinate amounts of money or energy or whatever else it might be. So that's what I did. Over the last few years, I'll come back to the voice within in a moment. I've written so many songs, and they come from a place of me piecing together part of my experience and taking what happened and trying to think, right, okay, what can I do with this? What can I do with it? I feel moved, motivated, driven, determined to reach out to as many people as possible. I look at individuals like Robbie Williams, and his biopic, whilst my life was nowhere near in comparison with that. It's a similar thing. I see people. I see my good friend, John Cheetham. I see others doing this, where they've taken their life experience and they've converted that life experience and the pain and the trauma into reforming, reframing something that they then want to share, yes, what happened to them, but also share it so that it's inspiring for others. Funny enough, a message from John Cheetham. Wow. So I think that's proof this isn't scripted, and I'll check that in a moment. The Voice Within was released as a single. There's a video, I've already talked about that. It's in the public domain and will remain in the public domain. And the video did capture what happened within my experience of what I went through, particularly with throat cancer and after. A few years after, again, I can't remember with dates because there's so much happening, I decided to take the song and rework it, reform it into a song that raised awareness of the organisation that helps people without a permanent home, Shelter. A relation of my partner Michelle, Zoe Evans, and incredible voice, and reached out to Zoe to do a version of The Voice Within that we could then release to raise awareness for Shelter. I did an interview. I'm not going to mention the major media corporation. Other corporations are available. And I did a radio interview. And the interviewer, before I went into air, some of this I've never shared before, a few years ago, said, and I quote, it's not the most popular charity, is it? Wow. I was blown away and thinking, what? I wasn't looking for popularity. I felt moved because I'd also experienced, including with family, living without a permanent home. So I was moved to take the song, The Voice Within, and channel it towards the homeless organisation. I don't like the term homeless, Shelter. Supporting those without a permanent home. They're not homeless, they don't have a home. So I did that, actually sang in a church, which was incredible, amazing. And to promote, and did a lot of work to promote the song. Joined in an organised walk with Shelter here in the Northwest, and a lot of other things that were happening around that time. I've reached the point now where I feel this song still exists, and I feel the song The Voice Within came from a really, really crumbling, dark, destroyed place. And I wanted to put some form of closure on certain aspects of how this song came to be, but also to utilise it, to share it so that others can hear it, and in infinity, in perpetuity, the song will remain, this particular version that's released. And it so happens this recording will coincide with 17 years to the day of surgery. The song, this version, is called The Voice Within, an Echo. And that echo is part of the song. The echo is also what I feel is part of a reverberation within humanity. Because even though our experiences are unique to us, I will say it because I thought it, my family, friends, those Jehovah's Witnesses that I was with at the time, they would have experienced what I went through from their point of view. I've not taken that away. I can't. This powerful message that has been utilised to express this isolation, disconnection, darkness on behalf of others. One of the lines is, let this be for you. Feel you stumbling in shadows. Life has drawn the light from your bones. Then let this be for you. Your voice, it may feel like an echo. Life's hand has dealt you this pain. Then let this be for you. place that the voice within came from. The spirit, the soul, the deepest energy within us. That's where it came from. Others can have an opinion towards the song, even though I don't agree with it and didn't welcome it, towards the video at the time, some disgusting language towards it, but they cannot express where it came from. That's like, which I've noticed some people do. I know you and I know what you're thinking. That is impossible. I personally would never ever use that expression because I don't and I can't. Quite simply, you cannot say. There is only one known in life. Some people say death, which is tragic. There's only one known in life. I often use this in driver training as well. There's only one known in driver training and one known in life, and that is you. The only thing you know is you. You don't know anyone else, anything else to some degree. The only known is self. So I was writing from that position and sharing from that position, and I continue to do that through to this day, and I will continue to do that beyond this day. The voice within, an echo, because it's got something to say. The voice within, an echo. Official release, which would be at time of release of this podcast, it would already be out. April the 11th. There's no particular significance in that. I wanted the song to come out as soon as I could. So, as you're listening to this, May the 10th, there or thereabouts, possibly maybe privately before, it will be out and the song will be there. Let it speak for you. Yes, I've shared everything I've shared. That's the forge, as in the forge of the burning and the pain that the song came from for me. But the heart of it is not my experience. It's the experience of disconnection and isolation which I experienced on multiple layered levels. But I wanted to take that and turn it into something that was of value to you, whoever you may be, and however experience in life may be for you. And that's an ongoing thing. So it's definitely not self-serving. But I wanted to put some attachment to where it came from. What were the forces? What were the forces that were acting at the time that created 2 years after what I experienced? And I haven't shared all from my point of view of what I experienced. Tons and tons of songs, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, YouTube. Now in TikTok, now here. I have no doubt at time of release of this podcast, there will be 1,000+ subscribers and growing. TikTok, loads of lives, loads of reaching out to individuals, podcast interviews. Check out the previous ones. Comment, like, subscribe, click on the notify bell because there's tons more coming. The message I want to share for anybody, I don't promote destroying and breaking down families. I don't promote not being part of a religion. I don't promote not understanding the point of view of others within an experience. But what I would say is treat people like human beings when they are the ones that are going through the pain that they're going through. And if you can't understand them, try to find a way where they can perhaps find the space that they need to be given the time to rebuild. And my heart goes out to anybody who's in the midst of an experience and isn't given the understanding that they should be. The voice within, it speaks. And that's my message here. And I really hope that the song speaks for you. And that's where the echo comes from. There's a truth inside all of us. Not my truth, not your truth, our truth. The truth of the human experience. Not truth that's based on dogma, not truth that's based on a religious belief system, not truth that's based on emotional blackmail, not truth that's based on a one-dimensional aspect way of being, not truth that controls others, a shared truth, a truth of the human spirit, a truth of all of us collectively together in this fragility, in this vulnerability of human experience. That can be illness, it can be loss, it can be relationship breakdown, it can be the understanding of a child in an experience who feels that they're not being listened to because the adults are the ones that are experiencing what they're experiencing. I'm writing to release emotion not just for me, but for you. The voice within, an echo. Let this be for you.
Your voice, it may feel like an echo. Your voice, it may feel just like an echo. Fear stumbling in shadows, life was drawn the light from your bones. Then let this be for you. Let courage guide you home. Your voice, it may feel like an echo. Life's hand has dealt you this pain. Then let this be for you. Let hope guide you through dark rain. Let the voice within you call for help. Let the voice within you give you strength. Let others take the burden of your heavy heart. Let the light of hope burn bright from a glimmering spark. Let courage guide you home. For you're lost in translation, life has given you reason to grieve. Oh, let this be for you. Find that place where you can believe. Let the voice within you call for help. Let the voice within you give you strength. Oh, let others take the burden of your heavy heart. Let the light of hope burn bright from a glimmering spark. Oh, let the voice within you call for help. Yeah, let the voice within you give you strength. Let others take the burden of your heavy heart. Light of hope burn bright from a glimmering spark. Let courage guide you home. Your voice may feel like an echo.
Your voice, it may feel like an echo.
Oh,
Your voice,
your voice,
hope guide you.
an echo.
Let others take the burden of your heavy
Oh,
every spark. Let courage guide you.
it may feel
Feel you're lost in translation.
just like an echo.